Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat Podcast. Today is episode 131, where we're continuing our series of looking through every Premier League club and rebuilding their side for the 2023-24 season. Today's edition is Fulham. Now, Fulham did really well last season, didn't they? Coming up from the Championship, a solid 11th place.
I mean, yeah, brilliant first season. Usually, as we see, fair, this year was pretty different, but usually we see obviously the teams coming up from the Championship struggling near the bottom.
Yeah.
Fulham, however, on the opposite end of the spectrum, were absolutely flying. Did tail off towards the end of the season and just slip out of the top 10, or did they hold on to it?
They finished 11th, I believe, or maybe 10th, but I think it was 11th. To be fair, though, they did have Mitrovic banned for 8 games after he shoved a ref.
Yeah.
So that was a big loss. They had Willian out for 3 games as well. They had Marco Silva had a touchline ban for 3 games. So it's also understandable that towards the end of a long season, we had the World Cup in there as well, that they were out of steam. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a sign that it's not all perfect at Fulham, and there is still definitely no room for complacency. Really good campaign.
Yeah, all things considered, a strong first season back in the top flight.
Yeah, they're pushing for Europe even at one point.
Yeah,
but I would say they've got very lucky. And not in the sense that, they should be bottom or something like that. I'm not saying that at all. But the expected performance does state that they have massively overperformed this season. A lot of that is thanks to Alexander Mitrovic scoring, I believe, was it 16 goals, 18 goals in the Premier League?
16 goals despite being banned.
Something like that. It's an incredible record. He played really well. For me, he is one of the best strikers in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think that's quite evident from his campaign this year. I mean, if his championship campaign where he scored like 50 odd goals wasn't...
Didn't he get 43 and 46?
Something like that, yeah. Ludicrous numbers, but yeah, Fulham did really well considering they adjusted from the Championship to the Premier League really decently, especially considering they only had a net spend of 50 mil.
Yeah.
So it's very impressive when you look at the sides like Nottingham Forest, who had a net spend of like 150 mil.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's very different, but yeah, really good season from Fulham. Now it's about consolidating that progress, improving on the squad, but most importantly, sorting out their contracts. Should we start with the contract situation then? 4 players expiring in 2023. 3 players that we won't really care about in Anthony Knockaert, Steven Sessegnon and Neeskens Cabano all had bit part roles this season. Yeah. I don't even remember Sessegnon or Knockaert playing at all. I think they're out on loan.
Very easily replaceable.
Yeah, no problem at all. A bigger issue though is Willian. I think he was really good this season for them, but it looks like he will return to Brazil. Why? I mean, how do they replace him? What does he bring to the side that they don't have in the current squad?
I mean, I know obviously Willian got banned at the same time as Mitrovic, but when Mitrovic wasn't there, it was kind of him and Andres Pereira who they looked to actually create and score something.
Yeah.
I mean, that brilliant goal he scored against Leeds.
Yeah, he scored a few really good goals. Willian only scores bangers. He's that type of player. Loves to cut in on that right and then curl one to the far corner.
Great player. I mean, he's played for nearly every club in London in the Premier League.
Yeah, if we see him at Tottenham next week, then he's taking it off.
Nearly, but not so. I think it'll be a big miss, but again, you can find a player that's better. He's getting on a bit.
We've even better played for West Ham because he played for every London club in the Prem other than Tottenham. So Tottenham really paid for his flight, and then he did a trip around London. Didn't play for them, but yeah, a very good player. But they can bring in a similar sort of mould of player.
And a bit younger.
Yeah, and I think I've got a good suggestion, but we'll get on to him when we get into our improvements later in the show. The bigger issue in 2023 is that their loanee, Manuel Solomon, he's not returning by the looks of it. They could put in a bid, but I think he's going to go to Tottenham. So they do have a big problem there because Solomon has shown he's a really good player.
I mean, but again, as I said earlier, him, Willian, Andres Pereira were the ones they relied on when Mitrovic wasn't there.
Yeah.
They are going to miss both of them quite massively. They're going to need to replace them with.
That means they've got no wingers, so they're losing Knockaert and Cabano as well. So there's no wingers employed at Fulham. That is something they're going to have to address, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then looking to 2024, well, a lot more, a bit of an exodus of players here. Harrison Reed, Tosin Adebayo, Kenny Tete, Anthony Robinson. There goes everything. Then Declan Reed, Rodak, Kearney, Tim Ream, and Tyrese Francois.
For me,
that's their squad.
I was going to say, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 contracts I would want to re-sign there.
Yeah, so for me, Harrison Reed has had a really, really good campaign.
100% sign.
Great double pivot with João Paulinho, and that allows Andres Pereira to have a little more licence to roam. So I think it's really crucial that they sign him to a new deal or replace him effectively. Tosin Adarabioyo.
Quality centre-half.
He is.
Error-prone, though.
He is, but I more think that you can sell him. You can get £20 million for Adarabioyo, and I think that's a great bit of business. Tottenham need centre-halves. I think
he'd fit right in. Good centre-half for Error-prone.
Yeah, he would definitely suit the vibe there. But I don't think he's inexpendable. I think you've got Ream, and I would be signing him to a new contract.
100%.
Despite his age, who cares? He's
America.
still got it. Probably not the future of America. Probably the future coach maybe of America. Okay, fair enough. But I think he's a good player, Adebayo. I really rate him. But for me, £20 million would let him go.
Yeah. True.
But, to be fair though, I don't watch him every week. I'm sure there'll be Fulham fans in the comment section right now with like amazing Adarabioyo on Twitter will be atting us, fuming. But yeah, I haven't watched him enough, and I do think though £20 million, great bit of business, and you can go replace him quite effectively. Kenny Tete up next then, and he's someone I would not be letting go. I think his attacking numbers are really, really good. He's an excellent crosser of the ball, and when you've got Alexander Mitrovic, all you need is crosses. That's just spam the ball into the box and wait for Mitrovic to score.
Very similar for the next one after that, Anthony Robertson. I mean, it's more incentive to keep him because you do not have another left back at the football club.
They don't, no. So I would definitely bring another left back, maybe have Robertson as a bench option. But I would still keep Robertson because, obviously rotation.
And keep your American contingent going.
Yeah, just want to look at Tete's numbers for this season to sort of show the impact he's had at the club. By the way, he will be the only right back at the club, as well with Steven Sessegnon leaving, and presumably Cedric Soares won't be joining again on a free. He was on loan this season. But Kenny Tete this season, 5 assists in the Premier League. It's really, really crucial in that right back role. 7.26 average football rating shows his quality.
Good going forward. And defensively.
I think it's an incredible player, and I think he's probably the best right back they're going to get right now. Of course, they do have Kevin Mbabu coming back from loan, but I can't imagine him getting in this side. So, even as the bench option, they're going to need another right back to play as backup to Kenny Tete. Then, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, I think he's good, but I think his time is up. Yeah. He can play another season, then let him leave on free.
At one point this year,
he is able to play right backs. That versatility is useful. For me, though, he's a championship quality player. So I would probably let him either leave this summer for get a nice £1 million.
Oh, yeah, five's generous.
Yeah, a couple million. No, 5 probably around his valuation, but no championship side's really got £5 million to spend on a player that isn't even like one of the better players in the league. So for me, I would probably let him go this summer, but if not, keep him around for another year. He can definitely be a bit part player that can do a job. Marek Rodak then up next. He was supposed to be their starting goalkeeper, but they decided no more Rodak, and in came Leno. So, a bit harsh, but he's a fine backup, isn't he? Rodak?
Yeah.
So, would sign him again.
I mean, if he's happy to play backup, then re-sign him.
Yeah, they've lost Paulo Gazzaniga, of course. He has left on a free transfer to Girona, I believe. So, interesting career move for him, but at least he gets to start there. For me, I think it makes sense for Rodak to stay as a backup, but I don't really know where he's going to start elsewhere. He could take a step down, but I think he'd be happy as a backup. Yeah. No, Tom Kenny is next on the list. Tom Kenny's bleeds white and black. You should probably get that looked at. But he is a big Fulham presence.
He is, but he's just not very good.
Isn't he? Is he captain?
Yeah,
he's a captain.
I guess keep him.
Play loads,
keep
but
him. He's not right.
How old is Tom Kenny now?
32. It's a stab in the dark.
Yeah,
maybe a bit older.
He is 32 on the dot. Well done, mate. But yeah, still 33 appearances this season.
Keep him then.
Only 6 starts, but he does get involved a lot from the bench.
Off the bench.
Yeah, 283 appearances for Fulham, an absolute servant, a brilliant servant to the club. 43 goals in that time as well. I don't think you can get much in the way of a transfer fee for him. So for me, keep him around. Probably re-sign his contract because he is a Fulham legend. Though if he wants to leave the club, you let him leave. Similar to Aspie at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Brilliant player. Has been a great servant. Maybe his time's up, and if he wants to leave, let him go. Up next then, Tim Ream. Even if this man wants to leave, shackle him to I was about to say Vicarage Road. Craven Cottage. Do not let him leave.
Do not even.
He's brilliant. He's so good. Even Pep Guardiola was like, I'd have him if he was younger, but I'd have him now. What a player. For me, he has to stay. Even if he doesn't... I know he's 35.
but he is Fulham.
Maybe he has to leave in a year. He is 35.
Doesn't
Depends.
matter.
If he doesn't want to sign, don't bother. But
he will
for
be
me,
36 on the expiration of his contract.
that's me.
He can play forever.
He's brilliant though. I really like the bloke.
Yeah.
I think he will likely leave next summer if he doesn't leave this summer. But you've got to bring in a replacement before he goes.
Yeah.
To learn under him for a year, learn under the master, and then after that you'll be able to maybe let him leave next summer. But he's a brilliant player. Really, really good player. I like him so much. Tyrese Francois. He is a midfielder from Australia. He has played a grand total of 9 appearances for Fulham ever. None this season. One this season from the bench. He got a single minute.
I think you can probably let him go.
One single minute.
This is some generational talent.
It wasn't even... Wolves in the league. And he got a cut appearance as well against Crawley. So that's nice. Let him go. He played 10 games in the Croatian league. To be fair, he was playing for HNK Gorica and played really well. 10 games, a goal, 7.00 rating. Yeah, let him leave.
Yeah, let him go.
He's out on loan. I probably wouldn't bother resigning his contract. Maybe sign. If you can sell him this summer, do.
Yeah.
I don't really know who's going to want him, but maybe you can sell him for some money. But yeah, that's all the contracts. So, should we do our squad keep or sell? Again, it's a squad that's being torn apart already by contracts and stuff, but there's still a lot to go through, a lot to discuss here of Marco Silva's players. So we'll start in goal. Obviously, they've only got 2 goalkeepers, so probably pivotal they get in another keeper as a third choice. But for me, Bernd Leno is a more than capable starting goalkeeper. He was sensational this season. If we look at some of his stats, some of his numbers for this season, only 51 goals conceded from the 36 games. That is impeccable. 8 clean sheets and 144 saves. Absolutely amazing. 8 penalties faced, only saved 1 of those, but still.
I think people forget that he used to be Arsenal's number 1.
Yeah. But he's also such a promising He was such a promising goalkeeper. When he's come through at Leverkusen, everyone's talking about him like be the future of the German national side, and that he would, come through, take the world by storm, be playing for Bayern Munich most likely.
He's played for Arsenal for years.
125 appearances for Arsenal.
Then Ramsdale came in, and he's come to Fulham at the start of this year. And he's shown that he's still a very, very capable goalkeeper who is near the top of his game.
Yeah, I think he's more than fine.
How old is he now?
He is 31. So, still, for goalkeepers...
6, 7, 8 years, isn't he?
Definitely got some... Probably not 8, but 6 years, 5 years, something like that. Still a long time left in him. I would say keep him around because you've got no reason not to. Probably bring in a young goalkeeper to play as third choice, or bring in a goalkeeper to play that third choice keeper, but not too crucial that you go and sign a replacement. If for some reason, I don't know, he's the best goalkeeper. Who is Thibaut Courtois? Because available for a tenner, go and get him. But other than that, I think Leno's
I don't think
best
Thibaut
first
Courtois
choice.
will go for them.
You never know.
I do.
But yeah, Bernd Leno for me, definite keep. Marek Rodak, as we've spoken about, keep around, re-sign his contract. Defenders then, Cedric Soares up next.
Do not let
He's available on a free, but I don't think that's a bargain.
No.
I think it's the only free transfer, which isn't a good deal.
I don't rate him.
No, I think he's fine. He's just not very
He's ageing,
good.
He's not Premier League quality at all.
Yeah. Phil Blake, probably a nice guy.
I'm sure he is.
Not going to get it.
Never mind.
Not getting in this Fulham team.
No.
We're building here, but yeah. And a similar sort of thinking for Shane Duffy. He's already left.
Yeah.
His contract, I believe, expires in 2023, or he's already been sold, but he's joined Norwich City.
That's the one.
Where he's going to go form the oldest Championship side in history. Him, Ashley Barnes, and Jack Stacey's gone there as well. They've already got Grant Hanley and co. So that's going to be an interesting side.
Yeah,
he has already left the club, but seeking pastures new. Only a year at Fulham. He was on loan for the first half of the season, joined in January. He's off again now. So
fair enough.
been not a great year for Shane Duffy, but fair enough. I think Norwich makes sense. He's a Championship player. He'll do really well for them. Was not going to get much game time for Fulham, but centre half's clearly a position to target, especially with Adebayo and with Tim Ream having contracts expiring next summer. Ream obviously we've spoken about, but Layvin Kurzawa was someone we've not spoken about. He is leaving. He's another one of the loanees that's leaving at the end of the season.
Is he a loanee?
He is a loanee, indeed, from PSG. Yeah. Only 6 appearances, but 2 goals in those 6 appearances.
Fair enough.
Probably not going to keep him around. Neither of those came in the Premier League. They were both FA Cup goals, but still 2 FA Cup goals.
In the FA Cup.
7.97 average rating.
Just playing in
the FA Cup. Scored against Sunderland Sorry, they scored against... Yeah, they played Sunderland twice. Assisted against Sunderland, then scored in the second leg against Sunderland. And he also scored against Hull in the first game. Yeah, no, not leg. I mean.
Second leg in round one FA Cup.
Quarterfinals, yeah. But I would not be keeping around.
No, I would not.
He's fine, but he's been injured since February. I don't think he's...
I don't think he's quite
great.
Premier League quality.
No. Tete then.
Keep. Yeah.
Give him the stadium. Give him a place in the car park. Give him a box if he wants one. He's a really good player. Really, really good right back. Great attacking numbers. And if he can just keep fizzing the ball onto Mitrovic's head, he'll be very successful. So keep him around. Great right back. Anthony Robinson, again, we've spoken about him, but I would definitely keep him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good player. And will be a good backup. Good backup if you bring in a starting... I would probably bring in a starting left back and keep him as a backup. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
And obviously he's the US starting left back for now, at least until... Is it George Bello, I think, is there? Young star at left back until he's old enough. But Anthony Robertson currently starts for the US. Probably won't start him next season, but can definitely play a role of some description. Tosin Adarabioyo, we've already spoken about, would probably let him go if you can get something decent. I think you can get, again, around 20 million quid. Looking at a good deal, especially because he didn't really start every game this season at all. He only made 25 appearances, 23 starts. Of course, Issa Diop coming in came in the start of the season, sorry. But 25 appearances for him, 21 starts. Keep him around, right? No reason to let him go. We'd probably bring another centre-half, potentially to start over him. But in general, no reason to get rid of Diop.
Decent rotation.
Started really well. I seem to remember him scoring match week 1.
Didn't he score at City?
He might have. I seem to remember him scoring, and I put him in my FPL team, and he was
match week
really
1, but I think he scored at City.
Oh, I thought he scored. He scored against Bournemouth a couple of weeks in. That probably when I brought him in, but I remember him not doing well for me in FPL and then getting annoyed at him. But still, a really good start to life at Fulham. He is only 26, so a long career ahead of him. A long way to go.
He's still got a while left in him.
He's not going to die yet.
No.
But they definitely need centre halves though, because they're only going to have 3 signed on, 2 of which have only a year left on their deal. So centre halves are a big problem at Fulham. But if they can re-sign Adarabioyo and Ream, they only really need 1. Yeah. But centre half's definitely a thing. And then Steven Sessegnon is leaving the club. Don't think it's going to be a massive miss.
No.
He spent the season out on loan at Charlton. He made 38 appearances. And probably go back to Charlton and do a great job.
Yeah, probably.
But could even do a job in the Championship, but he's not Premier League quality by any stretch. Into midfielders, then we've got some absolute ballers here. The first of which is Tom Kearney, who was spoken about, but a fantastic service to the club if you can.
Some ballers here, and it was a Tom Kearney.
He's a baller.
He is a good player.
Great servant for Fulham. Good player.
Yeah.
Maybe sign him to a new contract. Maybe let him leave. It's I don't know. I don't know if he's really been good enough this season, but it's still Fulham legend. Harrison Reed.
Must keep.
We've already spoken about again. Contract expires next summer, but if they can sign him to a new deal, a 5-year contract, hopefully, because he's a really good player. 28 years old, so still only now into his peak. 37 appearances, only 1 game he was not involved in, 35 of which were starts, and just all round a really good season. Him and the partnership with João Palhinha really, really worked. Speaking of the devil, devil seems harsh, the magician, the wizard, the fantastic player, the marvel that is João Palhinha. 35 appearances in the Premier League, 3 goals as well in that time, 14 yellow cards. That's what we love to see. But 7.1 on average football rating. He was a great signing. I think a lot of people looked at him when he first joined Fulham as that's a rogue one from Fulham for starts, because they usually just sign random players that no one's ever heard of. Yeah. But also, that's a lot of money to spend on someone that I don't know, played in the Portuguese league, but he's been excellent, been really, really good this season. Looks so good on the ball, a great tackler as well, really good defensive midfielder. And I think for me, you build your team around him.
Yeah,
hard to build a team around DM, but him and Reed formed a fantastic partnership, and I think those two allowing Andres Pereira a bit more license to roam and get involved in the attack benefits Fulham massively. I think, for me, he's key to how they play. Really key. Dictates tempo. Just a fantastic, fantastic player. And linked with a lot of top clubs, but if you can hold on to him, do.
Yeah.
Sasa Lukic up next, then joined at the start of the season joined in January actually, from Torino. Yeah, Torino. Good player.
Yeah.
Pretty good player. I think for me, you definitely keep him. He's a great backup. He's played 16 times this season for them since joining in January. 2 goals in that time. He's a good midfielder.
Yeah.
Good midfielder. Solid. Works hard. 26 years old. Can play as that DM. Can play a little bit higher if they need him to. But yeah, will probably be a rotation option for that Palhinha pivot.
Yeah.
So I think it makes perfect sense. Really, really good player.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he suits the Fulham system really well.
Yeah.
And he's integrated in the squad nicely. Andres Pereira then. The last of the midfielders that isn't Tyrese Francois, who I think's already been
Absolute
had enough of this video dedicated to him. But yeah, Andres Pereira he's a good player, isn't he?
What a signing this was from Man United. Even quality.
Yeah, steel as well.
Reincarnated.
Reincarnated. He's still the same body, but
what's it called?
Reinvigorated.
That's the one. He didn't look great against United. He's gone to Fulham. He looks like an absolute world beater.
Yeah, 33 games in the Premier League this season, 4 goals, 6 assists. Really crucial to how Fulham play. Yeah. I think you will probably want another attacking mid to give him a challenge in that role. But for me, Andreas starts pretty much every game unless you sign Messi. So yeah, a good player. I think Fulham fans clearly seem to like him as he's doing the business, doing exactly what they need him to do, picking up goals when he can, getting assists as well. Good player and a budget FPL option, so keep him around. On to the forwards then. Willian, as we said, is leaving the club, which is a big loss, as is Anthony Knockaert, which is not a big loss, as is Nissan Cabano, which is even less of a loss. But those two were, Knockaert was out on loan at Huddersfield, where he made 5 appearances, and Cabano was out on loan. No, he wasn't out on loan. He actually made 17 appearances, so they do need rotation wingers.
Wasn't very good though.
No, did you pick up contribution? He got 3 assists. Not horrendous. Not anything to shout right over about.
Can do better.
Definitely. Bobby Decker over Reed then. We've already spoken about it a little bit because obviously his contract is expiring at the end of next season, summer 2024. What's he got to do? Because he did play 36 times this season.
Back.
Well, mainly out wide, right? But let's have a look. When did he play against Southampton? Yeah, came on right wing. So, I mean, he is an attacker, obviously.
Yeah.
A good player at that. For me, you sign him. Sign him to a new contract, probably, but...
Give him a deal, keep him around, decent rotation player.
Yeah, decent rotation player, but nothing massive.
No.
But, probably sign a new contract. Can't remember what I said at the start of the video, but if I said don't, then I've changed my mind. Do sign to a new contract.
I think we said sign.
Alexander Mitrovic. Give him everything. Literally everything. Give him the world. He's so crucial for Fulham. Just his numbers, 14 goals in the Premier League this season from just 24 games.
He hasn't got banned.
That's
He'd have got 20.
Yeah. I mean, 8 appearances. Could have done another 8 goals in that time, 22. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if he can stop shoving over refs and getting injured, he'll be amazing.
Yeah.
He'll genuinely match Haaland next season. But incredible start to life in the Premier League for Fulham. And expect nothing less, really.
No, not at all. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
Really
picked up where he left off in the Championship last year. 43 goals in 44 games this season. 14 goals from 24 games. Really good player. I really like the bloke. And if he can just curb that aggression a little bit, then so he can play every game, that would be useful.
How old is he now?
He is 28.
Wow, he's still
28.
Got probably 3 years left in him.
He's got loads, mate.
Yeah.
He's only now entering his prime. 31, he'll still be in his prime. So,
wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on, Mitro.
Keep him around. Get him playing. Get him starting every game.
Wow, I didn't think he was that young.
Yeah, without him, they probably wouldn't be where they are. Well, they definitely wouldn't be relegated. But yeah. So crucial for them, and for me, he's a must keep. Harry Wilson.
He's the only wing at the club.
He's the only wing at the club.
He's an alright backup.
He's a good start on the right wing.
Maybe.
He'd bring another player, maybe, but for me, he starts. He made 29 appearances, 13 starts.
Not too bad.
Started to play a bit more towards the end of the season, especially with Solomon not sticking around, though. It's crucial you keep Harry Wilson for now, at least. Jay Stansfield, do you think another loan?
Yeah.
He's out on loan at Exeter. Good season.
I was say.
Good season, to be fair. 39 games, 9 goals. Did play 3 games at the start of this season before he went out on loan. Hat-trick on the final day of the season against Morecambe.
Magic. Great to see him at Exeter. Quite heartwarming.
Yeah, lovely story. Loan move. Top League One Championship, maybe?
I was going to say.
Where's the perfect
Stockport
situation?
isn't he? Maybe a step
to the Championship.
No, to League One.
No, League One you want top. You want like whoever's just come down.
Ego, Rotherham.
Yeah. Have they gone up? Where are they?
Stadium Championship.
Maybe, yeah. Probably not. They're really bad.
Yeah, Rotherham aren't great.
Any sort of maybe Ipswich Town. Who knows? I don't know if they've got a striker, but he's a good player. He needs a loan move where he will start every game, and then he could do really well because 39 appearances this season, 9 goals, nothing to be scoffed at, and a team that doesn't create many chances. Extra mid-table League One side, they're not going to be putting the ball on a plate lovely every time. But yeah, and then Vinicius. I mean, he made 28 appearances, only 11 starts. Then
he scored against Chelsea, that's all I remember.
Went out on loan, apparently. So, a bit of a confliction here, because it says that he played 1 appearance in the Eredivisie in 22-23, but then in his career it says he...
I thought he said at Fulham his whole...
Only joined Fulham in 2022, so... I don't know, I think that's an error on football's part. I don't think he's been playing in the Eredivisie this season, but...
No.
Let's have it. Has he? No, nothing on here about him playing in the Eredivisie, but he's fine, but I wouldn't want him as your only backup.
Third choice, he'd be alright.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that is the squad. Keep or sell. Shall we get into some improvements there? Now, what do Fulham need to target? Well, they need a starting at centre half, I would say, potentially, or at least a rotation with Tim Ream, though likely replacing him more and more throughout the campaign. Right back to the immense Kenny Tete, not Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin Mbappe, though, probably sell. He's not on this list, but sell him. Starting left back then, ahead of Anthony Robertson, I'd probably say I think you need someone that can match Tete's attacking improvements, or have someone that's a little more defensive potentially, so that Kenny Tete can go free roam and not be worried about his defensive discipline. Then you need some midfield options, because Paulinho can't play every game again, neither can Reed, and Lukic can't just be the one rotation. So bring another midfielder, get a bit more rotation in the midfield.
Yeah.
Then wingers, because they've lost all their wingers, they probably need to bring in some new ones, and then a backup striker for Mitrovic will be really useful. Let's get into it then. Centre half. I saw them linked with Igor from Fiorentina. I thought that would be a decent signing, but I'm going to keep looking, see who I can find. I've gone for Ohis Felix Uduokai. His name's difficult to pronounce, but he plays for Stuttgart, left-sided centre half, left-footed. Perfectly replaces Tim Ream, in my opinion. Decently tall, really good numbers on FB Ref. Likes to play with the ball at his feet, which we know Marco Silva is a fan of. For me, he makes sense. I think him and Diop as a back two really could work well together. But yeah, Felix Uduokai from Stuttgart. My first suggestion. Have you heard of this guy?
No, I haven't. But in terms of just a general rule of thumb for a new player coming to the Premier League, he'll do well in his first season, because they should just rotate him in, but ease him in. Don't just chuck him in the deep end and hope he doesn't drown. Starting the paddling pool, and eventually next year he will be able to conquer the whole.
Being thrown off diving boards, but. Yeah, any other suggestions for those centre half?
Not on my no.
Okay. But yeah, as I say, I saw Igor linked from Fiorentina, Brazilian centre half, again, also left footed. So they're clearly targeting someone to replace Tim Ream. They could look at a loan, maybe, from other sides in the Premier League. I think I did see Harry Maguire linked as well, but apparently United want £40 million, and he's also not very good at football, which you sort of want if you're going to spend that much money. But yeah, for me, I think Felix Uduokai, as much as he's not played in the Premier League before, would be a good pickup.
Yeah.
Right back then, for me, this is potentially a controversial one. Well, not controversial, but interesting in the sense that it's mental, because he was linked with Dortmund a few years back.
Yeah.
And he does start in the Championship right now. It's Max Aarons. Really, really good player, but apparently available for just £10 million.
Wow.
It makes sense, because Norwich are stuck in the Championship right now.
Yeah.
They need money desperately. He wants to get back to a league where he's actually able to play. He can also just play at left back if you need him to do a job there. I think he's a good player, and for 10 mil, an absolute steal. He may not be best pleased with playing back up to Kenny Tete, but there is going to be a few cup competitions in there. He's going to get loads of minutes most likely. Could play at left back as well. So for me, it makes sense for him and for Fulham and for Norwich. Norwich will be happy to pocket money. Aaron's to get some more game time in a better, well, not more game time, sorry, but to get less game time, but in a better side, obviously, and be a part of the Premier League again, and then can also cover left back, and then Fulham also get a backup right back who is quality, absolutely quality, and a bit younger than Kenny Tete as well. Left back then, this is an ambitious one, a big one I've gone for here. Starting left back, I have said throw a bag. Throw all the money you can find at Borussia Mönchengladbach for Luca Netz.
Oh.
Now, I understand this is potentially unrealistic. I put down 20 million, but I think you can probably get him cheaper.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I think I don't know. Depends how highly Gladbach rate him. I think they're going to want
he's very good.
a lot. I don't know. It's an ambitious one. It's probably the most unrealistic, or hopefully the only unrealistic one on this list. I just think he's so quality.
Doesn't mean it's not possible.
Throw everything you can find at him. If not, maybe look at Neto Borges, at Clermont Foot. Maybe don't look at Levan Kazawa from PSG. The only black out to my head, Levan Kazawa. But you can definitely get some good attacking left backs from other clubs to come in and play. Luca Netz is probably a bit of a stretch, but I think he's a good player, so I've noted him down anyway. I'm sure Fulham fans will have their say in the comments going, I love him, but way too expensive. But yeah, really quality player. If you can get him at 20 mil, do.
Yeah.
But probably just out of reach. Into the midfield then, I think I'd do another rotation option, and this is going to be another one that's difficult to convince, but the allure of the Premier League should convince him. Rolando Madragora. So he obviously plays for Fiorentina. You would have noted him in the Europa League final. Conference League final. Really energetic player. Good on the ball. Great out of possession as well. His movement is superb. Good box-to-box player. Could also play ball winner as well. Yeah. So I think he's just really energetic. Great rotation with either Palinha or Reed. Whatever you need him to do there.
Yeah.
Again, though, convincing him, leaving a side that's just... They got so close to the Conference League. They haven't got any European football for next season, so a little less to convince there. But he only joined the club a year ago from Torino. For me, it's going to be... Not from Torino, from Juventus, I think.
There'll be two different... Him and Netz will be two very different players to get, but if you can get them, you can get them.
Yeah, and around 12 mil, 15 mil, something like that. I think you'd get yourself an absolute bargain for Madragora. But yeah, wingers then. They need some wingers, and desperately. The first one is a free transfer from a Premier League rival. I said they should go and get Adama Traore. Really good player, really quick, but also he can be direct for this game, but he also can be a creator, and I think that's going to be crucial. You've got Mitrovic, obviously, and to have Traore as someone that can get the ball into the box to him, but also as someone that adds a dynamic that they don't really have. Just someone that can fly down the right-hand side and cause loads of problems. For me, I could see him working really well for Marco Silva on that right wing.
I do see it.
Yeah, and on a free transfer, it's relatively risk-free. Up next, Junior Messias at AC Milan, 32 years old, so he is on the older side, but that wasn't a problem with Willian, so it shouldn't be a problem with him. I do think he is a little lacking in his game at times, but for around 5 mil, I think you can get yourself a really good bargain there. So yeah, that would be my shout. I think he's also able to cover a lot of different positions. Play left wing, can play right wing, can play attacking midfielder. So his versatility is useful. Again, I think I'd prefer Traore, but Messias is an option there. You could even get both. You're going to need a lot of wingers, considering you've got a lot of wingers leaving Fulham this summer. And then on the left wing, a big pickup, Armand Lorient. Now, you may be familiar with that name if you are watching Serie A this season, but he's had a really good campaign for Sassuolo. 13 goal contributions, I believe, this campaign in around 30 appearances, off the top of my head. But a really good player. He tends to play off the left and cut inside, but can also play through the middle if need be. We prefer him on the left as that starting left winger. Similar takes up similar positions to Willian. Loves to cut inside to have shots. He tends to go a lot lower with his shots though, but he has a nice catalogue of goals with different finishes. But if you get him in around the penalty box, cutting on that right foot of his, he's just a really good player. Really good player.
Fair enough, yeah.
Price could be a bit steep at 20 million, but
on the high side,
you've got to pay to get good players, and I think he is certainly a very good player.
Yeah.
And then as a backup to Mitrovic, I have noted the Union Berlin striker, Geraldo Becker.
Oh, yeah.
It may be difficult. Union obviously are playing Champions League football this season.
Yeah.
But the allure of the Premier League, we speak about it so often, it is difficult to turn down. This is the most difficult, I think, to pull off, which sounds mental because I've already said Luca Netz, but just the fact that Union have Champions League and they are such a tight-knit squad. And for a backup striker, 18 mil is a lot, but I think he's really quality. Helps he can also play as the shadow striker, as a sort of a second striker, so he could play in attacking midfield. I don't know. This one was one of my more rogue shouts again. in terms of other options, you want someone that's not the same profile as Mitrovic. You don't want to go for someone like Ludovic Ayorka or Habib Diallo, but someone shorter. Yeah. Someone that is quick, pacing behind, come on and change games. So someone that fits that profile. If you could get Patson Daka from Leicester, I think that would be the perfect sort of fit, but I don't know whether he would be convinced to join. Probably got potentially got better suitors out there, but I think he would be the perfect sort of profile. But someone like that would be ideal. I know Shadow Becker, but in all honesty, I think that deal was probably very difficult to pull off. But so if that comes together, that'd be around 95 mil. That is very expensive, but as we say, there's a lot of players in there that we go. There's better alternatives, cheaper alternatives out there. But for me, that doesn't. As much as that sounds mental on paper for them to go and spend 95 mil. Last summer they spent a net of 50 mil. So this summer would only be a little more than that. And if you take out one or two of their players, suddenly it's only 70 mil. And if you can make a couple of sales as well, then maybe you recoup some of that money.
Those signs would take them to the next level. So they could pull some of them off. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just bring in some Lorient, Adama Traore, bring in a left back maybe that's not Luca Nets. A centre half is crucial as well this summer. But a couple of additions here and there. I think if you're still happy with Decordova, you probably can get by without another striker. The only fear is obviously if Mitrovic does barrel over Paul Tierney again, then you leave yourself in a bit of... I didn't know. Could barrel over Paul Tierney this time. You never know. But if he shoves the ref over, then you have got a slight problem. But you just got to hope he doesn't do that. But so predictions for next season then. I think they'll go down the league. I don't think they'll go relegated. I just realise what I've said there. But I think they will slip down the order.
I think with our teams coming back, swinging bigger, I think, bottom half. Not in the relegation zone, but bottom half. 13th, 14th, 15th kind of area.
I think they'll be in the scrap, though. I really think they will. I don't know whether they'll get the right players in this summer. That'll be the big thing, obviously. If they do, then maybe they can get back to where that 10th sort of position. But it's going to be very difficult. Maybe. It's going to be very, very difficult. And, I really don't know for Fulham this year. Last season, as much as they did finish 10th, 11th, that sort of area, it's much more difficult to do that this year. And they did overperform massively. The numbers last season, the overperformance was so great. And that should be a concern. So if we look then at their expected, where they should be in the league, because it's quite different to where they actually are. So expected points, using Understat for this, by the way, shout out, very useful site. It has them in 15th, so it's 16th.
Yeah. If that happens again this year, they're going to be in trouble. 16th.
They overperformed expected goals by 7.02. They overperformed expected goals against by 18.49.
Yeah.
That is huge.
That's
so big.
They cannot afford
and
to.
And then overperformed expected points by 12, so they should have finished on around 39 points, which doesn't leave them in a great place.
That means there's a point with the relegation zone.
Yeah. Well, also other teams somehow Bournemouth were big overperformers. They should have been bottom. They should have expected performance. Wolves should have been relegated as well.
They were rubbish at the start of the year.
19th, but Southampton actually on expected performance would have stayed up. So maybe Nathan Jones is right, and he is such a good manager. But that is everything for today.
Yes.
It's been a good episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and keep the conversation going in the comments below. Where do you think Fulham will be next season? Who do you think they should sign? And what have you thought of their last campaign? However, that is everything for today. Thank you all very much for watching or listening if you're on Spotify, and we will see you next time.
See ya.